A 2025 horror film, The Dark Power, is based on the true case of exorcism. The scariest thing is that it also gathered 12 disciples of Jesus. The story begins with two girls coming to their father's grave in the middle of the night. They take out a strange doll prepared in advance from the pocket. Immediately after the two read some secret words, the strange doll turned 180 degrees towards Kayla behind. "Dad, please separate Mom from those bad guys." At this time, the manager of the grave appeared. She was afraid that she would be found and immediately took the doll and left the scene. But when Kayla and the others returned to the car to talk, there was no sign of Apiao in the rearview mirror at all. When Kayla returned home, she met the legendary ghost hitting the wall. She looked at her mother, who was sleeping on the sofa, lifting the quilt. When she turned around to go back to her room on the second floor, her mother's figure suddenly appeared again. "I'm back." So far, she just thinks it's her own eyes. She didn't hesitate at all and ran back to her room and took out the strange doll she brought back from the grave. The next morning, she threw it away in the trash can at the door. After she left, the doll looked like it had a life body. When she came to school last night, her best friend's face looked very bad, and there was a bloody mark on the neck. Her best friend said that she didn't care if she didn't sleep well. But when Kylie came home from school, she found that her mother was still with the old man next door. She ran back to her room with a grudge. As soon as she looked at the picture of the family at the bedside, she suddenly found the doll that had been thrown out yesterday. Seeing this scene, Kylie was also frightened, so she picked up the trash can that had been thrown into the door again. As soon as she put it down, there were a few thunderbolts in the sky. That night, there was an inexplicable thunderstorm. But with the thunder, Apio came back again and found Kayla in her sleep. Her mother was also woken up by her daughter's scream. When she ran to Kayla's room, she saw her daughter saying something in front of the wall. "Kayla, stop." After experiencing her mother's strong call, Kayla gradually woke up from the confusion. From that day on, Kayla had a huge change. There was also an inexplicable bruise on her body. The whole person was in a very bad state. There was also the sound of death from time to time. As expected, that girl Apiao had been following her. When she looked again, it was actually a female teacher at school. When she returned to the classroom, she found that her best friend had disappeared. It turned out that her best friend was found dead by her mother on the balcony, so the school board called her to the office to ask. In the end, Kayla told the truth about what happened that night. On the way to the cemetery, two teachers drove her. Kayla inexplicably made an evil smile and began to hit the car glass with a small skull. So the teacher took her to the school's monastery. The old man told her that only a priest could help her. At this moment, she was helping a boy to exorcise the demon. She is the only priest in the monastery who has the ability to exorcise the demon. And the magic power is not comparable to that of ordinary demons. When Kayla woke up, she couldn't control her body at all. She committed suicide like crazy in the classroom. Shortly after, Kayla's mother was also invited to the school because the exorcism ceremony must be approved by the family. The next day, she went to Kayla's house with the old priest. Then she took out all the magic weapons to deal with the demon. Then she put on the purple shawl used for exorcism. Then she chanted a secret spell to summon the demon out of her body. The funny thing is that she waited for a long time and still had nothing. Unfortunately, the old priest took out a bottle of oil again. Then he put a cross on Kayla's head. At that moment, there was a reaction. The light in the room began to flicker. In order not to let the demon kneel in front of her, she threw the holy water out of her luggage and poured it on her. This is how she got a brief injury. However, when the ceremony was halfway through, her mother heard Kayla's cry for help and broke in. She picked up the holy water on the ground and threw it to Thomas. In the end, the three of them drove the demon out. The boy and the old king, who got the news the next morning, thought that Kayla was pretending to be a ghost on purpose. The purpose was to drive her away from her mother. So I don't know. So I decided to break up with her. Do you trust this boy more than me? I brought you here to discuss, not like this. Under the choice of the old king and his daughter, the mother, of course, chose her family. In this way, the old king next door turned around and left. Jingji took her daughter to the cemetery to visit her ex-husband. When she came back for Kayla, her mother took off the proposal ring that the old king gave her. Unfortunately, the demon didn't leave her. He stopped the old priest on his way home. "What are you doing here?" But the strange thing is that when the priest walked in, Kayla fell down directly. When the priest put her back in the car and was ready to take her to the hospital, the evil spirit slowly showed up. The next morning, the old priest did not make a sound for it. Through what happened last night, he knew that there was more than one evil spirit in Kayla's body. It was an image of the demon Siege. In order to summon the spirit of the king's wife, Kayla lured the disciple of Lucifer.